What is the worst thing that has ever happened to you in a relationship? My ex thought my love for pizza was a red flag. Like, who doesn't love pizza thought we were soulmates, but apparently not. Found out he was the young guy who my mom fucked when she cheated on my dad. My ex put her new relationship status on Facebook, and that's how I found out I was single. Found out he had wife and kids after 2 years of relationship. I discovered she was cheating on me with my older brother. It felt like I was getting stabbed in the back by 2 loved ones. The worst thing? Getting ghosted after thinking everything was going great. One day, you're texting and making plans, and then suddenly radio silence. No explanation, no closure. It's like you didn't even exist. The whole thing just messes with your head and makes you question everything. That was rough. Found out he was cheating on me with my best friend. Honestly, it felt like losing 2 people at once. They were much more social and charismatic than me, so when it ended, all my friends left with her. Partner cheated on me with a really good friend at the time, doubting myself ever since. So I choose to be single now due to major trust issues. I know not everyone will cheat, but I can't get too close to anyone because of the psychological damage that person's actions left on me. I fell in love. My boyfriend went missing for 4 days. I spent those days with his mom, and it was terrible. Thank God they found him. The worst thing for me was realizing that I had been giving everything, only to find out they weren't even trying. It's painful when you put in so much effort, but the other person is just emotionally checked out. She broke up with me to be with my friend. Then her mom shot my friend because he was high and acting aggressive. Then I started dating her again. Lasted a year and was terrible. My wife cheated on me and left me for my friend. We have the same name. It greatly confused our 1-year-old. I accidentally called my date by my ex's name, LOL. I went on a date 13 years ago where I didn't have the money to pay, but at midnight we were to be paid. I was banking on the notion that I would have the dollar before I paid the check at midnight. I didn't get the money until 4 a.m. the next day, and she had to pay on our first date. LOL, I paid her back in cash the next day at work. We worked together, and we have been married for 10 years now. Rape? Got dumped, went on a bender never ended. Fun times. Was supposed to fly back from a trip on my birthday. She stayed an extra night, came home and cheated on me. We lived together, so I stayed in another bedroom while I could hear her on the phone with the guy who she cheated with who lived across the country. The calls were frequent and lasted a while. I drank myself silly and eventually moved out when an opportunity presented itself. We had been together for like 4 years at that time. Lies, gaslighting, and generally narcissistic behavior. My wife died, begging him to treat me right. He was living a double life, nauseated face. She left her hard drive plugged into my computer. She had been insisting that I had been cheating for months, and I suspected she was projecting. So I looked. She was fucking guys for money in my bed. I had to call her dad to come get her. She would not leave my house. She got mad after I broke up with her because she caught an STD and I didn't. So she put stuff in my gas tank. Just fucking awful all around. Domestic violence. Found out the day that we closed on our house that he was cheating. We talked a lot about having children through the relationship. She told me it would happen after we got married. Bought her a huge ring. Paid for the destination wedding. Then it became after the honeymoon, 3 weeks in Europe, which I understood honeymoon was a solid 8 months after the wedding. Sex dried up after the wedding. The day after the honeymoon was over, she told me she didn't know if she wanted kids. We discussed this for another 5 months where she refused to decide. I told her finally she had to go live with her mother until she figured it out. She came back and told me that it wasn't that she didn't want kids, but that I would be a bad father, and she then packed her things and left. I think it was likely a combination of factors, but she was hoping the desire to have kids would grow, but it never did. 7 years of my life. We are in the current process of leaving a cult. We were both born in and are slowly peeling back the layers of harm and abuse. Due to the nature of the cult, men were higher valued than women. And as the wife, I've endured years of verbal, emotional, and sometimes physical abuse. I also had my role to play and was not an ideal wife. Together we are healing and apologizing. So far, it is going well. I was physically abused, gave me a concussion multiple times, called the cops on me, and had me arrested just because I scratched up his face while trying to defend myself. Meanwhile, my entire body was covered in bruises. It took me way too long to finally escape his madness due to him constantly threatening me and my family. Filed a restraining order and ran. Now I can smell a red flag from miles away, LOL. Got cheated on. She let me know by sharing videos they made in my apartment on my bed. And the entire time it was them saying how I'm a loser and won't ever find true love. Not the worst thing, but still a hurtful thing that came to my mind right now. My ex strongly teasing my best friend in front of me without giving a damn about me or the way I was feeling. Abuse. He was very violent and essayed me, belittled me, and isolated me from my family and friends. The cherry on top was when I finally had proof he cheated and broke up with him. He then showed up on my doorstep refusing to leave and proceeded to pin me to my bed and headbutt me in the face, breaking my nose, the most horrific 2 years of my life. Got scared when relationship got serious. She just started talking and meeting more often. It was probably my first time. He staged his death when I tried to leave him. Was involved with a nymphomaniac. Take my word for guys, walk away. Worst experience ever. Herpes scare, where he treated me like I had the plague until my test results came back. Wouldn't even sit near me or touch anything I had touched, cooked, etc. I tested negative twice. He then tested and was positive and thought nothing of it. Wanted to resume unprotected sex, kiss, engage in touch, etc. In other words, he treated me exactly opposite of how he did when he thought I might be positive. Being emotionally abused. Was early high school. Joking around with my father, horrid temper, switch flip with him. He chased me down the hallway. Thought we even playing till he pinned me down, hand around my throat, strangling me till I passed out. Burst blood vessels in my eyes. Had to wear sunglasses for a good week to hide him while at work or elsewhere. Discarded the second she moved to a new city for a job and met new friends. Also, I can't individually reply to every comment on this thread, but I'm so sorry you all went through the awful circumstances that you did, and I pray that you have healed and found what you truly deserve. Discovered my ex was cheating when the other person accidentally sent me a message meant for him. It was like receiving a participation award for a contest I didn't even know I was in. Talk about an instant reality check.